It's amazing how right Rafa is, but I don't get the impression that the narrative is supporting her.
No, absolutely not. They're trying to paint her as the bad guy for speaking the truth, laying out the facts.
And I think it comes down to because there's no consequences for Ahsoka. That's how you know who the narrative is supporting. Because you can have characters call out other characters, but if the character they're calling out doesn't suffer any consequences, then it's not really supporting the person who's calling them out.
And then, like, by the end of this episode, she recants everything. Oh, you're what the Jedi should be, and I was so wrong about you.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You were spot on. She's bad news. And she brought you nothing but trouble.
And she's leaving them with nothing but trouble, because the narrative pretends it's all hunky-dory, but no, the Pikes are going to search for revenge because Maul's gonna be breathing down their necks. So those girls is not safe at all. They just probably lost everything. You can change who you are, but you cannot run from yourself.
Feels slightly contradictory, doesn't it?
Yeah, just
because if you can change, if you become a better person, then why would you even need to run from yourself? I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Sort of.
They're saying you should change yourself instead of just trying to run from yourself, because that's never gonna work. So if you look at it like that, then yes, it makes sense.
Then I feel like it should be the other way around then. Like, you cannot run from yourself, but you can change.
Oh yeah, that would make it more clear.
Yeah. I feel like having it flipped or trying to say something else. I don't know.
After learning that the sisters blame the Jedi Knights for the death of their parents, Ahsoka must decide if she's willing to reveal her Jedi past. Fearing her new friends will feel betrayed by this revelation, Ahsoka is left with a difficult choice.
It's not a difficult choice.
It's not a difficult choice.
No.
The stakes are their well-being, their lives, versus their feelings. If you're gonna hurt one, what's the obvious choice?
We're here because you convinced Trace to dump the spice, and she did.
I never told her to do that.
Yes, you did!
Well, no, technically.
Not explicitly, but that was your aim.
Well,
or at least you should have known that was gonna be the logical outcome.
Well, no, it's more so she wanted her to dump it, if you will, on a planet where it could be turned into medicine. So she didn't want her to dump it the way she dumped it, and she didn't tell her to dump it like that. She didn't want that. But yeah, she was pressuring Trace and scaring her, and she didn't say this either, but like the idea that, oh, we can just do whatever we want with this spice without issue. And then she only says later, well, actually, no, there is an issue. I just hadn't, worked out a way to make it all right in the end.
Wait, so you're blaming me for this?
Yeah, so I love how Rafa blames Ahsoka, and then Trace is like, you're blaming me? No, that's literally not at all the words that came out of my mouth.
Again, the freaking dialogue.
If we went through with my original deal, we'd be back on Coruscant counting our money right now.
And she's absolutely right.
But your original deal was the problem.
For you.
For me as well.
Since when? Because she was like, I can't believe you didn't ask me to do this. And then she found out that they were the Pikes were gangsters, and then she had a problem with it. But it's like, okay, that's okay.
When did this happen?
What?
The two of you against me, when it was always just you and me, Trace.
See, and this is what I've been saying the whole time, like from the very beginning. There's this kind of like undercurrent of Ahsoka driving a wedge between the sisters.
Yep.
Like pitting Trace against Rafa. And here's the payoff. So it's like, it's not in my head. It's not me making stuff up. It's there. And it's so messed up that Ahsoka just comes into these girls' lives, and in order to make a place for herself to have top tier, she splits the two of them apart. And it's like, how manipulative and controlling and just narcissistic and like superiority complex and all that stuff do you have to be to do that. Oh, but she's doing the right thing because
she's just looking out for them.
not, you know, a very good person.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Rafa, I'm not choosing sides here.
Yes, you are!
What's your plan? It's better if you don't know.
I hope it's better than your last one.
Rafa, you need to trust me.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. There's no obligation. There's no reason to trust you, especially after your last plan put you here. And they didn't realize it at the time, but she wasn't telling them the plan, really.
And she's doing the
exact same thing now. And so it's like...
She does not learn.
No, she's just like, I need to be free to do what I want, and you guys need to step in line behind me, because obviously I know what I'm doing, and I don't need you to know or to help. Like, because she was exactly like this in Season 3, Episode 6, The Academy with the Kids. Mm-hmm. Character growth.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing. It really changes the person. Oh, wait, no.
Not in this case.
No, there is no character growth here. How many times do we have to say it, man? Like, by the way,
Blue in the face.
Tim Hortons, if you want to sponsor us, I'm here. I love the farmers wraps. They're good. Just saying.
She's your friend today, but what about tomorrow? And the next day? What about then?
It's amazing how right Rafa is, but I don't get the impression that the narrative is supporting her.
No, absolutely not. They're trying to paint her as the bad guy for speaking the truth, laying out the facts.
And I think it comes down to because there's no consequences for Ahsoka. That's how you know who the narrative is supporting. Because you can have characters call out other characters, but if the character they're calling out doesn't suffer any consequences, then it's not really supporting the person who's calling them out.
Yeah.
Right? If anything, it's framing them as in the wrong because this character is being supported in what they're doing by the narrative.
And then, like, by the end of this episode, she recants everything. Oh, you're what the Jedi should be, and I was so wrong about you.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You were spot on. She's bad news. And she brought you nothing but trouble.
And she's leaving them with nothing but trouble because the narrative pretends it's all hunky-dory, but no, the Pikes are going to search for revenge because, like, Maul's gonna be breathing down their necks. So those girls is not safe at all. They just probably lost everything.
We each played a part in getting here.
No, you played like 90% of the role, honey.
I mean, it's true that, like, because Rafa took the job and then Trace dumped the spice.
There you go, that's their allotted 5%. And she gets the other 90.
Then what's the last 5%?
What do you mean? 5% for Rafa, 5% for Trace.
Oh, okay.
Don't you know math?
Well, you said that's their 5%.
Yeah.
That's
a 5% for
you
the
didn't
two
say
of them.
each. You said 5% for the
5%
two of them.
each. Do you get it now?
Yes. You were complete. Tell me in the comment. She was wrong, right? Right? I'm always right.
No.
But we have to trust each other.
What choice do I really have?
Come with us.
I love how the Pikes just conveniently come and call for them right now after the girls have decided what they're gonna do. They don't have to call for the guards. The guards are suddenly just like, you are needed. Like, okay. That's great timing.
Did you notice her crossed arms again?
They hid the spice off world. I don't know where. Send them to go get it and give them one rotation. If they don't come back, I'll tell you where their family's from.
Very well.
They hit it off world, but I don't know where. Oh, okay, so you're useless to us. We'll torture them to get the information. Why would anyone be like, oh yes, okay, we'll send them alone to go retrieve it? That's a brilliant idea. And if they never come back, then I guess we'll try to hunt down their family, maybe. Who knows if you even really know where they are? Why would they tell you where their family's from, but not tell you where they hid the spice? You'd think on the list of priorities, family would be like super duper ultra secret. You'd think.
So dumb.
Or even, at the very least, send someone with them to go retrieve the spice, right? But the idea, oh, just send them alone. Yep, that's
no
good.
red
That's
flags there.
She thinks this will work. And it does!
Yeah! Because
wow!
Villains are stupid.
Everyone's stupid around Ahsoka so that she can succeed.
Bring back my spice. If you don't, I'll torture the information out of your friend here.
What information?
The friend who just double-crossed them? Like, from your perception?
And she already said she doesn't know where the spice is. And she will willingly give you the information about their family. So what's threatening to torture her gonna do?
Nothing.
Nothing!
'Cause they wouldn't care.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna backstab us? Well then, like, it should just be, go get the spice, you've got one rotation, or, you know, we're gonna go after your family. That's the threat there. Not, or we're gonna torture your friend. Ooh.
Clearly not.
He does add, kill her, you, and your family.
And kill her, you, and your family.
But it's like, they're gonna be long gone, and what's killing her gonna do? Like, she's already told you, I don't know where the spice is.
This is another deception.
I know, but I don't have much of a choice.
Yes, you do!
I must regain that spice. My life depends on it as much as theirs.
Then you should not be like, okay, we'll go along with your deception.
Yeah, no, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
My life is on the line, and I know you're deceiving me, so I'm just gonna let you go with it, because otherwise I'm gonna be in trouble. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Oh my goodness. I just... the stupidity on top of stupidity in order to make the plot work. And it's like, are you serious right now? Like,
you couldn't just do a rewrite?
I didn't scan the Jedi leaving with the others.
I want to know the instant she leaves the Citadel. What are you up to?
Why do you care?
why does she think she's up to something?
That too.
Right? Like, again, we already talked about this, but she's suddenly like, oh, Ahsoka. Ooh, and it's like, why do you care? Why do you care? Given your past experience with her, what's the deal here? Though maybe she thinks, oh, she was so good at, you know, fooling us, so maybe she's fooling them.
Oh my goodness.
Split second. She could have had the girls out a split second after they first got in there.
Yep.
I still don't understand what Ahsoka was thinking. She knows we don't have any family.
Exactly.
Again, Trace is being used to spell it out for the audience.
We're not stupid! Thank you very much.
But it's like, okay, are you doing that because you're like making sure that the little kids in the audience who definitely should not be watching this show? Because, oh yeah, I ran across an article recently. It was from 2011 from the visual supervisors, and he was talking about going into season 4, how they were really trying to show, you know, this isn't a kid's show anymore. Like, you know, we're growing up here. You know, we're targeting an older audience. So it's like, clearly by season 7, that should be like, okay, this is for young teens or, you know, mid-teens, whatever. But they're treating them like children. So is this for children? Or is this for teens? You don't seem to know. And you haven't seemed to know since season 1
of the show.
And apparently, based on something Filoni said, it was around season 3 to 4 that George actually started relinquishing more and more control over it. So it's interesting how those two events kind of correlated.
What she did back there, giving herself up for us, that's rare.
Okay, she's relevant in this moment, but you have this, oh, she's not here, so we can speak honestly about her and how amazing she is. And she's just the best person ever, and etc., etc., etc. Mary Sue.
You mean that was her plan? I thought that was clear.
Yeah. It was clear. Again, why is Trace so stupid? I love how she just finds her way to the armory.
Oh, very convenient.
Since I'm here, might as well do some good.
And then, yeah, we've already mentioned she considers it good to blow up a factory where who knows how many
innocent people maybe were.
Well, collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage.
There's a lot of risk for collateral damage.
I do not have your shipment listed anywhere.
You've never done a special request pickup?
Ha! Very rarely.
Then today is one of those very rarely situations. If it makes you feel better, go find your boss. But when he asks what the holdup is, I'm gonna tell him it's your fault. So while you go get in trouble, I'm gonna start loading up my ship. Come on, guys, let's get moving!
It's one of the rare occasions where we actually see a character who kind of lives up to their strengths.
Yeah, true. I do love moments like that, though. They're so fun. Like sometimes
the fast talkers.
All it takes is confidence.
The Republic is cracking down on my operations. Just a week ago, they raided one of my shipments arriving on Coruscant.
So this is interesting, because when they landed on Kessel, the girls were like, oh, well, you know, if the Republic had a problem with this, they'd shut it down. Now we hear that the Republic does have a problem with it, and they have been cracking down. But it's like, they're not going to the source? The very well-known source? I guess not.
Very smart, very effective, yeah.
When have we ever been shown that holograms can see that far into the surroundings?
Also, the fact that he senses her as a hologram?
Yeah.
What?
You'd think if sensing through holograms was a thing, the Jedi would kind of use that more often.
I am certain Crimson Dawn would love the opportunity.
Name drop. Shameless name drop.
Surely Maul knows we do not jump to his demand.
Would you care to make that clear to him?
No.
Sir, come quickly. The prisoners escaped.
Isn't that convenient?
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were no petty smuggler.
Why did they come back?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna leave the room, wait a minute, and then come back, because she's probably there.
Random omniscience. Random omniscience from characters in this stupid show.
How many guys did she take on there? Like 6? And again, that's how many were around the girls when they fell off the speeder.
Are your friends Jedi as well?
No, just me.
And I'm gonna believe you. Why does everyone just believe Ahsoka?
Because she's a Mary Sue.
I got your manifesto right here!
I mean, I'm impressed that Rafa tries to go up against the Trandoshan.
And the fact that she comes out on top by the end is pretty badass.
What?
See ya, pal.
And they do it in a, like, believable way. Like,
yeah.
She doesn't overpower him.
Mm-hmm.
She outsmarts him, out agilities him.
Out agilities.
You know what? I knew when I was saying it that it wasn't a thing, but, you know.
Outmaneuvers?
Thank you, outmaneuvers. But it kind of raises the question again, like, Trace did so badly. And so it's like, again, is Rafa protecting her by not training her to defend herself?
Again, Trace seems like so sheltered, and it's just not believable considering their lifestyle.
How unfortunate that your stupidity is so authentic.
That is a quotable line. Why don't I see that more?
I forgot about that. That's amazing.
I need to use that line sometime.
I love that.
Jedi, why didn't you tell me?
How could I? After what you told me about your parents.
You could have told them long before that. Like, that was in the, what, 3rd episode? I think that was just in the last episode.
Yeah, I think so.
So she'd had 2 full episodes with them. And, like, even at the very beginning, yeah, she was completely covering over the fact that, oh, I went to Skywalker Academy, my big brother taught me, and blah, 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 blah. You didn't know about their parents back then, so, yeah, why did you hide that?
I was trained, but I left.
You can do that?
You would think, because the Jedi organization was pretty big, and you would be getting, like, because in the Zane Carrick, Knights of the Old Republic comic, it seemed to be kind of known, like, okay, if it doesn't work out, you're going home.
Yeah.
And I think there was a bit of a stigma. It's like, well, you got sent back by the Jedi, you're obviously not very good. But, like, it wasn't like, what? You're not stuck there for life?
Yeah, it's not a prison. What the heck?
I love how she just conveniently set it for that amount of time.
Yeah, a lot of conveniences throughout this episode.
After them, or we'll all suffer the consequences.
Suffer the consequences because you're stupid.
Oh, those guys are already geared up and ready to go.
Well, that was fast.
They literally took off at the same time.
That is quite impressive.
Keep it tight. I'm on it. I'm banking right.
I do like that communication that's going on there.
Yeah,
that's
they're actually working as a team.
We might have lost the rear deflectors, but we still have the front.
On the one hand, I like that Trace kind of gets this kind of badass moment.
I think it's the only one she gets, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it doesn't feel earned.
No, not at all.
Why even did the Pike play chicken with her like that? Just go up. Or he waited until it was like, oh, she's gonna hit me. Ah, and then turn, and oh no, I hit the cliff. It's like,
maybe you just
he
really wanted to play chicken, okay?
To react. When you kind of think about it, it's really not all that badass of a moment. It's just more stupid. But I do love how Ahsoka's immediate reaction is to be like, no, you don't have a good idea.
This isn't a good idea.
Yeah, that's always her first reaction.
They were literally being chased, and you'd think they would still be looking to see if they're being followed, but nope. Nope.
Since the Pikes think I was an operative working for the Jedi, I don't think they'll come looking for you anytime soon.
That doesn't make any sense!
Doesn't make any sense.
You're not going to arrest me for spice smuggling? You're a Jedi, right? Don't you make a living tracking down criminals like me?
No. That's regular police work. Jedi don't do that. They do that with much higher tier criminals, sure. But you wouldn't even register.
Not to mention that, like, there's a war going on.
Mm-hmm.
And as she says, I told you already, I'm not a Jedi anymore. I left.
I told you. I was a Jedi.
Why would anyone walk away from being a Jedi?
That's a fair question.
You might not think of yourself as a Jedi, but you act like one.
No, she doesn't.
Keep in mind, Filoni wrote this. So this is Filoni saying, Ahsoka is what I want the Jedi to be.
You act like one. Or at least how I want them to be.
Oh my freaking goodness. Garbage character.
And then, yeah, there's just gushing with praise for her that is completely unearned.
Without you, we'd be done for. Jedi or not, I consider you my friend.
After all those years of resentment against the Jedi, it's just whoop.
Because they met Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's just perfect in every conceivable
And I mean, the resentment
way.
didn't even make sense in the first place, really.
No, it didn't.
But, like, and I could understand, like, okay, this person saved our life. Like, it sort of makes sense.
So, I actually noted this quite a while ago, and I shared this in our Discord group, but I will share it on camera. Because why not? So originally my delivery of this point kinda sucked, so I figured I'd just re-record it. Basically what this arc boils down to is privileged asshole swoops in, screws over the people she views as lesser than herself, i.e. the poor, possibly neurodivergent, queer-coded POCs, otherwise known as the Martez sisters, who quite literally represent pretty much every marginalized group ever, all while acting like she's doing them a favor. What a great way to indoctrinate the savior complex into kids and rear the next generation of ableist, racist, classist, homophobic assholes. It's great.
Good job.
Don't worry. Death Watch is gone.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
just
believe
take
you.
your word for it. Doesn't even require an explanation.
You and I have a common enemy. You have 5 minutes to decide.
Decide what? I have no idea what you're asking me to do.
Exactly. And the fact that, because I mentioned this in the argument against Ahsoka Part 4, that Bo-Katan is basically pitting this whole plan of hers on getting Ahsoka. So she thinks all she needs
Is an
to get back
ex-Padawan.
Mandalore is, an ex-Padawan.
Who they, like, didn't have too much trouble overpowering. You know, like,
that's
she
true.
only got away because R2 is there to help. And he gave her lightsabers. Lex helped a little too. But, like, she was about to be
Get her head chopped
decapitated. This is the person you're asking for help? Against Maul? Does that make any sense outside of a Mary Sue?
No, it does not.
It does not. That's what makes her a Mary Sue. Yup. One of many, many, many moments.
Sounds like she needs your help, just like we did.
Oh, you did not need her help, and she didn't help!
I'm afraid where it might lead. You mean back to the Jedi?
Why would it lead back to the Jedi?
Yeah, that's a good question. They don't even, like, Bo-Katan gives no explanation. She's like, Death Watch is gone. We have a common enemy. I'm gonna walk over here now, and you can decide something.
Just like she was a Jedi, he was a Sith apprentice. But, like, it's kind of like, okay, maybe because she's like, oh, he's a Force user, and that means that the other Force users will be involved in this in some way, and
But yeah, like, why would it lead back to the Jedi? There's no indication that that is the case.
I don't think Bo-Katan, and like, yeah, what Bo-Katan says in the next episode, which implies that going to the Jedi was Ahsoka's idea, right? Like,
I told you this was a waste of time.
so why would you be worried about it going back to the Jedi unless you were planning to take it back to the Jedi? Because obviously Bo-Katan was like, going to these guys is a waste of time. It's literally what she says. I told you this would be a waste of time.
So stupid!
I love how Bo-Katan gives her a fancy new outfit too.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. Such a Mary Sue. I hate everything. Follow the instructions for your own safety. So.
Are we gonna hunt them down if they don't?
I mean, people usually follow instructions for their own safety because they might misuse a product, they might hurt themselves. You never know. Instructions are generally for people's safety, so, for your safety. It makes sense. It does!
Okay, we're good.
You don't know the troubles of editing, man. Come back and talk to me.
I
when
got the
you've
thing
learned
going.
Editing.
You did the thing. 7 seconds to spare. Look at
Got
us.
so much time.
Yay!